Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark summer movies.
I'm Brian. I like Hallmark summer movies.
I'm Dan. These two are lying to you. I despise Hallmark summer movies, and this is the
Deck
Deck
the Hallmark podcast.
Get your name out of my mouth.
No,
That's right.
Your name, my name.
I never said your name. I just said you're lying.
Your is essentially you say.
These guys could have been anybody.
All right, I don't know
But
if
also
everybody can
nobody
hear
likes
real
su-
quick.
I don't know of anyone that likes Hallmark summer movies. Not a single. And we do this for a living. I don't know of a single person that's like,
Panda never
yes.
liked one?
No, he hates them. Now, by the end of every summer season, Brand's like, I'm just so happy to be done with summer.
Well, because fall's
Yeah,
there.
It falls there. It's
Fall
right there.
is looming. It's
set up
hard.
for
It's
failure.
hard.
What's
I
great-
wouldn't disagree with that. It's set up for failure. No doubt about it.
Does fall? Hi, Aaron. Does fall? When are we getting producer Aaron our own camera?
Ooh, that's
I don't know.
good question. We got to tear it out of
probably-
Rig's
Yeah, I was
cold
about to
dead
say,
hands.
the rig cam lasted 3 weeks.
The
and it
rig
was gone.
cam. The problem with the rig cam was that
You didn't love me.
no, is that camera is
You
pri-
didn't even like me. That cam was supposed to be my cam. You
Is he
promised
reading
me
a
a cam.
script? Sounds like
I
he's
told all my
practicing lines.
friends. I said, 49, stink bug, Skippy,
You have a friend named
Mitch.
49.
K1, KJ52.
KJ52's down
he's
there.
on it.
49 get
He's
along
on
pretty well.
hard times down
Wow.
there at the
Oh,
bar.
he
That's
does.
right.
Oh,
Yeah. But he's down there
Get a cam on him.
every day.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
maybe that's part of
Yeah.
the problem.
That is part of the problem for sure.
What
I
are
never
you,
wrote him or then called it.
what are you talking about right now?
You took my camera.
You don't
Got
like
it. Yes.
That's right,
The
yeah.
problem was is that that camera was a little
Brandon's
bit
a stink
tricky
face, and he doesn't love me.
or continuous.
He said he loved me, and he doesn't love me.
We'll work on getting an Aaron. Aaron, when does the fall movies start?
When does the fall movie start? Good God.
When
do the fall movies start, Aaron?
When did?
Is it in the first week of September, or
It's
does
the
it
last
take some
movie
time?
of the month, right?
What do you mean it's the last movie of
I
the
think
month?
there's one in the,
I don't think they're in there yet. Wait, Fourth
the ones
Down.
we reviewed last week.
Fourth Down?
One
Are
of
they
them.
doing a
Love-
football movie?
Love the
Yeah.
Great Smoky
Yeah,
Mountains.
that's the first one, I think.
that's a fall movie.
I think it is. I do.
Scroll down. Fourth Down in Love. That's a
Fourth
great
Down
title.
in Love?
Here you
Yeah,
go.
that's
hey,
great.
Dan. Fourth Down in Love is Pascal Hutton and Ryan Pavey.
Oh, no.
That's gonna be
Could
fun.
have
No!
saved
What's
that
the
for the
date of
preview
that
show.
September.
Fourth
Yeah.
Down in Love with Ryan Pavey?
They're crushing the sports like during
Dear
the season,
God.
though.
That
We had
is that
soccer,
football season's like starting
baseball.
that week. When's the
They are
first?
on it.
When's the first week of the NFL?
Probably that.
I think
week,
it's right around then,
Usually
right?
the week of
First week of
September.
September, yeah.
Wow, good for
Fourth
them.
Down in
Crushing it.
Love.
Yep.
Fourth Down in Love.
Sheesh.
Well, anyway,
Maybe Fourth Down and Sick that week.
but you know what summer has going for it is that it seems as if it's just 1 month this year, which
Yeah, it
honestly
does.
would be
That's
my
true. That's
preference
true. Yes.
with the season.
Correct.
I wish summer the season was also only 1 month.
The heat.
Because I can
Yeah.
like 1 month of swimming with my
Yeah.
friend, like that's fun.
You swim, then by the end of it, it's like the water's 90 degrees.
It's
and
hot.
you're
Like
just-
I don't.
Just like
I
swim,
want
swim,
when I
swim.
walk
Yeah.
outside.
Barbecue, swim.
When I walk outside, I don't want to sweat. I don't want to sweat right away.
I
Right?
get that. I feel that.
But,
But
you
you
know,
can't not. You do.
can't not.
70% of the year you're out there.
Yeah.
There's the heat.
I don't know if you know about that Greenville, South Carolina. Pretty hot for 8 months of the year.
Hey, did you guys hear about that Greenville #1 waterfall in the country?
Come on. Is this real?
That little Niagara Falls?
It's
the deuce.
It's that Greenville
this is
#1.
not a joke.
Niagara Falls #2.
Which
Yeah.
waterfall?
Did you see that Greenville posted about it?
Oh,
On
the
Facebook.
Falls Park. Which waterfall,
Listen,
Brian?
But that's not
Greenville
like,
membership revoked. Go home.
It's not like a big fall.
I didn't look. I'm not here
Oh,
to
hey, guys.
defend the ranking.
Yeah, keep
And
talking.
it doesn't always run. Like there's not always water falling.
There's always water falling. Have you ever seen it without water falling?
Yes.
in the
What
Falls
do you
Park?
mean the water?
The water's always
What are you
falling.
talking
a
about?
waterfall is like it's always pouring
Yeah,
and dumping.
Brian.
That's not always dumping.
Falls Park, the water in the Reedy River is always running.
Compared to like Niagara Falls, that's
I didn't see
always
it say, but you
falling.
said sometimes it's not running.
Not really like
It's
really
not like they turned
falling.
the spigot off over there,
It
and the
seems like
Reedy
it's
River's not
operated
working
by a
anymore.
spigot.
Stop it.
So last week it rained pretty good, and that Greenville. There was that one day.
I bet the Falls Park.
So
was
I actually
that.
here's a video that I recorded.
That's running. That looks good.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's going real good there. You can kind of see it.
There's no world where Niagara can compete with that.
I sent it to local chief meteorologist Chris Justice.
Sure you did.
And he posted it on his Facebook page.
Yep.
With this caption: "Thank you to one of our most trusted storm spotters, Brandon Gray." One of the most
before you start
trusted.
clapping, think about what you're clapping for.
I am one of.
Brand in his low 30s
The most.
is already considered one of the most trustworthy weather spotters of Greenville.
That's right. A city with the number one waterfall in it.
Already taking pictures and sending them to the local meteorologist in his 30s.
Yeah.
He's going to die any day now.
I'm one of the most trusted weather spotters in Greenville.
Next thing you know, he's going to take
Can
us bird
someone
watching. It's going to be brutal.
Can someone get me a plaque of that or something like that's
for sure.
That was a pretty good day for me. I heard
Yeah.
it also ran on the air. I didn't see that, but somebody texted me and said, "Hey, you were just on the news."
Yeah.
One of the most
Weatherman
trusted.
Brand.
Hashtag
Weatherman Brand.
Speaking of things that you can watch, be sure to watch this show, the movie we're talking about, the Philo Deep Dive, and so much more on Philo.
Yeah.
It's the only place you can watch this show in full, in full length mode,
3D?
and in full
That
quality.
one button ad skip on the Roku brand.
It's clutch.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
clutch money.
Even with summer movies,
You
it makes
say
them fly by.
you save this movie that we're talking about today, which I know the title of,
Making Waves.
Making Waves
Clearly
to
made an
your
impact
your
there.
unlimited DVR, and then you just one button ad skip that junk.
That's right, and you can save that movie for a full year.
Yeah, just keeps hanging around.
If you
Just
want
keeps
to
hanging around.
watch it again.
Brian just watched a Christmas card on
I did.
It's just saves and then you forget about it and then you're like, oh,
Later
there it
on,
is.
A little surprise.
Leave a little
Surprise.
something for later.
That's
like
right.
A little leftover dessert.
Let's get to it to Making Waves,
Let's
shall
do
we?
it, please.
Making Waves.
Just the movie about the Greenville waterfall?
Yes.
No. They
no?
didn't have it in the budget to get the number one waterfall in the
Yeah,
United States.
we
of
charge
America.
a premium
Next
for that.
year.
They could go out to Niagara, the silver medal. They could go out there.
And
If they wanted to.
Can you imagine, like, think of all the iconic scenes that
People
have happened.
Reading this at Niagara Falls, like reading the story.
Jim
going,
and Pam getting married at Falls Park, Greenville, South Carolina.
That's right.
It could have been, Niagara Falls. Yeah, we've seen that.
We need to up the Bramblefest prices.
We do.
I think so.
They're literally the hotel is
destination.
right by the number one waterfall in the
Tell
country?
me that's not going on the poster next
Come
year.
on. Yeah.
Amazing.
a free trip.
Originally aired on August 5th, 2023, and it went a little something like this. Amelia.
Waves of mercy, waves of grace, everywhere I look, I see your face. Your love
Amelia is in the music
You're missing the
biz.
best part. Oh my God, this love. How can it?
Yeah, you did the weird. You did this in your
How
group.
weird is that?
That's
People in
weird.
the youth group all doing this.
We did
number?
a wave.
That is weird.
We did a wave like
Our
normal.
youth group was full weird. Nah. That's what they did.
Your youth group said move
Sheesh.
your hips as much as possible.
Right.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Amelia's in the music biz and she loves her tech. She's always talking to speakers, talking to her phone, whatnot. She was just recently promoted, but she does still bring her boss coffee. It's that type of relationship. She heard a new band while she was spinning on her, not her Siri, not her Alexa, but her Jimmy Jam, whatever it's called.
JoJo.
And was like, this is amazing. And she finds out
done for the
that
rest of the show.
that band is going to be playing at a music festival at the Outer Banks. We love the Outer
OBX.
Banks. The OBX.
Don't call it that.
Is playing at the OBX. And that she's like, I'm going to go check out this band and try to sign them because they got a fresh
The
new
OB
sound.
Banks.
The OBX disorder.
She even
call
talks
it
about
that.
how this band has a sound that is fresh and new, and she just needs to sign them. So her boss is like,
they
go
pop?
get them. No.
Forget
Super
it.
pop.
No, they're not
Forget it.
pop.
I mean, no, not at all.
I'm out.
So she goes to a bar. Apparently she's from the OBX originally. Like she
The
grew
Outer
up
Banks?
there.
The OB Banks?
The Obi Banks.
Obi Banks.
Hi, my name's Obi. Obi Banks.
Banks.
and the Outer Banks banks.
Outer Banks banks.
And so she goes there. She stays at this inn that is run by her friend and whatnot. And then she goes to a bar and she bumps into a high school fling-a-ling, Will.
Fling-a-ling.
Fling-a-ling. They dated.
Yeah.
They liked each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did saying fling-a-ling throw you for a loop?
I think it did.
I'm
think
sorry.
It did.
I'm sorry.
Never heard it called that.
So they're chatting, and she's like, "Hey, I'm here to check out this band, Figure Eights. They call it
F8.
F8
Like
in
key
this
on the
movie.
keyboard.
F8.
That's right.
Nice.
Fate of the Furious.
And he's like, "Whoa, you're here to check out F8? Man, I hear they're really good. They're super local. I might know them.
Super local. They're not just local.
They're super local. They're super local." So she's amazed by that. And she's also amazed when she finally sees them do sound check, and she's like, it's you. Well, it's you.
right.
You're an F8. And he's like, I'm sorry about doing that and doing the thing. So the music festival is just huge. A big carnival, big fun times. But there's lots to take in here. There is the friend, the inn that is like,
The friend, the end.
the friend at the inn that
Yes.
owns the inn.
Yeah.
They
With the candlestick.
kind of like fell out of contact, and now they're catching back up, and the inn is like, I don't know, having a tough time of it. There's Will's restaurant, bar, pier combination that is also in dire straits. And there's also another record label that's trying to get F8, which is run by Amelia's boss's ex-husband.
Man.
Okay? So
It would seem that there's lots going on.
Lots going on. Well, I've got good news. The inn sells, but they still get to stay there. They raise money for the bar pier combo, so that's all good to go.
Great.
And Will agrees to sign to F8.
Wow.
Couldn't have gone better.
We're done.
Roll
Couldn't have gone
credits.
That's
am I
it.
right?
Except we're not done.
Yes.
No.
Because her boss comes in there, has a meeting with Will, and Will has been promised that this record label is artist first, that they care about their artists, that they want to, hear what they think for their careers and do what's best for them. Yeah. And the boss is like, hey, here's a list of pop acts that we would like for you to listen to and try to change your sound to be more like them. And he's like, this isn't what I was promised at all. This isn't it at all. And Amelia's like, what? Oh my gosh. So she quits. She quits.
Quidditch?
Quidditch.
She caught the snitch?
She quits and she says, I'm out of here. I am going to start my own record label. So she goes and she finds Will just before they take the main stage. They got brought up to the main stage.
The A stage.
From the
Stage A,
side
from
stage.
B.
And she's like, hey, she goes out to announce them to the crowd, and she's really puts them in a tough spot because she's like, hey, it's me. I'm starting my own record label, and I hope this next band joins. Let's get up for F8. And he's like, what? They performed the one song that we know that we love, that we hear a lot during this movie. And then he comes off stage and he's like, hey, this sounds amazing. Let's do that. And they could do kiss.
They kiss, yeah.
And fast forward, the record label is popping. Her friend is working for her, and I guess Will is now bringing her coffee. And that, my friends, was Making Waves.
We did it.
Making waves over there? You surfing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
On the waterfall? Damn.
Are you? You've been telling me you've been trying to audition for one of those white noise apps.
Yeah.
Is that one?
Yeah.
Give me Raindrops on a Tin Roof.
Hey, my name is Brandon Gray. I'm here to audition for Raindrops on Tin Roof. I am 31, and I am from Greenville, South Carolina, home of the #1 waterfall. All right, here it comes.
No, we said the sprinkler on.
Yeah, we said tin
Roof. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Take two.
Is Gollum on my roof?
No, sorry. Here we go.
Like
Okay.
Three
One
Stooges.
more. Give me one more.
Chew your food with your mouth closed.
No. That's the best of them.
Come to see my
We'll be in
waterfall.
touch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be back right after this here on Deck the
Deck the
Hallmark.
Hallmark.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark. We're talking about making waves, and we're going to make our waves over to the
Making my waves downtown.
hot take part of the show. It is where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not hold back. And I'm going to start with my good friend Brian. Brian, what did you think of the movie?
The movie Making Waves. Sure.
Making Waves.
So I don't think this is how festivals work.
No, it isn't.
I don't think this is how, from comments I've seen online, I don't think this is how the OBX works.
It isn't. The Outer Banks. Please say Outer Banks.
The Outer Banks?
The OBX Outer Banks.
OB Banks.
OB Banks. I
OB
don't
Banks.
think this is how record labels work.
Yeah, nope. It's not how movies work.
However,
Uh-oh.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. There were a number of things I really liked about this movie. Corey Kotz, the main guy, I thought he was like a great artist. Like I thought he was great in this role.
The
I
main
felt-
guy?
Yeah.
I thought you said the mean guy.
No, he was not mean at all.
No, super nice.
I thought he was perfect in this role. Like I believed him as a musician, the leader of a little indie group coming up out of nowhere on the OBX.
He has a history in Broadway, so that
He
would make
does. He's
sense.
a
Yeah.
performer. I thought he was great. And I think that the no lie, like blatant lying, like the misunderstanding kind of didn't. The misunderstanding was that he was going to turn pop, which is a big deal. It's sort of a wait what. I was sort of like, just say you're pop. Like,
yeah, but also
like, who
the
cares?
song that they were singing was a very poppy
It was very
song.
yeah. What is pop? Like it's
Yeah.
just such a dumb argument, the pop thing, because it's like what is pop? It doesn't matter if you're called pop or not. You know what was really cool? The Making Waves logo, the T-shirt that they had was very cool.
Okay.
I also had the Americano got a lot of love in this, which is espresso and water. It's my drink of choice, and so I like that a lot. And just the conflict felt very authentic. Like I'll talk about it more in my feels, but the one where she's trying to decide on whether to sell the inn to the big bad corporation or not. It just felt, I don't know, it kind of worked for me there. So a few things I didn't like that I thought were kind of, I'm sick of the board and the big investment for, like I'm sick of the tropes that are just used over and over. They're tired. It didn't take away from me liking this movie as much, but I just kind of was like, all right, she's going for promotion again. Like the board is saying no to stuff.
What about a town hall? Do you like a town hall?
love a town
I wouldn't
hall.
mind seeing some town hall scenes.
Yeah.
A committee.
That's
even,
different than a
maybe?
board.
That is
Yeah.
different than a board. A town hall, they're actually functioning, making things happen. There's a good amount of music. I could have gone for more, obviously.
Yeah. What about
a
band
little bit-
practice? We didn't get any.
It was mentioned, and then we got none.
Yeah, we got
Left
none.
me hanging. I'm
We
like,
got sound check.
we got a little sound check,
I like.
which is pretty
Okay,
cool.
I'll get to it in a second. I can't believe
So-
you like this movie.
I did. I enjoyed watching it. The stuff that I thought was kind of silly, didn't enjoy it, didn't really take away from it a whole lot. There was a number of things that really worked for me. So thumbs up for me.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. What Brian said. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. I was not offended by it. And, it's summer.
There it is.
It's summer.
Thank you.
It's summer. And this is why I think summer is hard. One, it's my least favorite season of the year.
Two, the movies aren't any good.
Two, no, it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with the quality. Like this movie was fine. But I'm coming out of Christmas in July.
Yeah.
I'm heading towards fall and more Christmas, and in the middle of it, I have a bucket of movies that just kind of are, and they're missing like the plot element of season really can influence how good a movie is, and if this movie happened at a fall festival, I'd probably be going nuts. If they're eating fall donuts and drinking pumpkin spices, yes. But as it is, it's a carnival. There's hot dog, there is wet cotton candy, and there's a lot of the same song over and over again. And so this movie, I think, more than some, because it didn't take place at a beach, it didn't take place at like an overtly like summer locale, really could have benefited from the season of fall or Christmas. That would have really elevated. As it is, it's just a fine movie that I was fine with. Dan?
Yeah, a year ago, Brian, myself, and Panda did a movie with the Pena Vegas.
Pena Vegas.
That was a summer movie, dudes in a band
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Right.
That movie is way better than this movie. For
The
a
Pena
number of
Vega
reasons.
movie's better?
Yes. This was tough. It was tough because I felt the whole movie was tired and boring and stupid. I also didn't like
We
the
don't say
leads.
stupid.
That's right.
Sorry.
Hard S.
Hard
Try
ass.
again.
That's right. I felt like the movie was tired, boring, inane, and
Okay.
inconsequential.
We don't say
All right, I'll
those
take it.
words either.
Uh,
Find a
and
middle ground.
I didn't like the leads. I thought it was laughable that they were trying to pass this off as the Outer Banks. The
OBX.
Outer
OBX,
Banks of
please.
British Columbia,
The OB
maybe.
Banks.
Yeah, I hated it. We only got one song over and over again, and it
We
wasn't
got
good.
Two songs.
The second song came in late. You're right, but they sing the first part of the same song over and over again.
Yeah.
And if it's not a good song, you know this from watching these movies. If it's a good song, we're like, that's a banger. If it's not a good song, movie gets long in a hurry. I felt like we were already like in the throes of summer movie season, and we aren't. That was our first one. It felt like we were in the fourth out of
Technically
five.
second.
Okay, yeah, we didn't preview that one. That's how I
It
got
wasn't
confused.
a summer movie.
But you said technically.
I'm sorry,
second.
we didn't do a summer preview. We do.
That's
a
right. We didn't do a
It's
summer
monthly,
preview, of
'cause we
course,
do
because
monthly.
that would make too much sense.
Yeah. No.
It feels like I'm already over summer movies because I am. I did not like this movie. No, thank you.
Bummer.
Well, let's get to all of those feels. It is where we talk about the feels and kind of where they all came from for us. And I'll kick it over to Brian. Brian, what'd you feel in this movie?
You see that down here?
What's this going? Can we swat this? Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Come on in. Get out of here. So this, I had dueling feels. Dan, you're doing some magic on the screen here. If you don't have Philo,
Get
you're
outta here.
missing out. We need to figure out how we can make it
Bring it
explode.
back.
Come on back now.
A little bit later. Get out
So
of here.
my feels looks like we're on the all feels segment.
We are good.
I had dueling feels. I had a bad feel and I had a really good feel.
Like somebody's gonna duel.
Yeah, like they were going head to head on horses. with
Yeah.
the jousting.
Jousting. Yeah, yeah.
Thought
I
that
was
was how
thinking
happening.
duel. Challenge you a duel was the pistols, but you
Sure.
went to jousting.
Yeah, I said duel. And
You
I
went to Renaissance
I said
Fair.
duel and went joust.
The Renaissance. I had dueling feels. You know, like a joust.
You know, with the turkey stick.
What? What?
turkey stick.
Turkey stick? Turkey legs.
It's a stick
Are
with
you
turkey
English
on it,
much?
you know?
Technically, it's a stick. You are a technical writer.
Thank you. So my bad feels was
My bad feels.
just this took me out of the movie a little bit, I guess, is just big corporations coming in and buying up property and wiping out all the little guys. And just in general, that just
you
kind
should
of
watch Hallmark movies
Oh,
because
yeah,
they tend
man.
to really
It's just-
rally around the
I know.
little guy.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm all about the little guy. It's just frustrating when you think about how big it almost feels like it's out of control. Where big companies have so much money, and all they have to do is throw money at somebody who needs it, and they will take it, and the corporations then own whatever
It's
they
like
want.
they prey on individuals
a little bit,
who are trying to just do their best to do something they love.
right? And it's sort
It's
of
almost like there's a corporate greed that's kind of ruining how
Maybe.
the economy's supposed
that's a
to
good
work.
way of putting it.
Huh.
And then you start snowballing, and it's like, well, what's the point of trying anything? Because you're
Oh,
just
no.
you're never gonna get out from under.
Buddy, are you good?
So
I feel like you should be in a room by yourself doing just a direct to
So
camera
there was
here.
that
I don't
po-
know
yeah.
if this.
Can we
I
shut
don't
all
know if
these
I should be
lights
involved
down?
in this.
Well, you have La Bamba on in the background.
Oh man. Oh Richie.
Well,
So that was a bummer, and I was kind of bummed that they took. I was like, sort of like, if everybody gives in to that, then you have nothing left. Everybody needs to stand their ground and not
right.
sell.
Hold, but like if you had a cryptocurrency
Like a
Yeah,
dog
hold,
coin.
Hold. Just
that was
hold.
anti the man.
Yes. Yes.
That was
hold.
based upon
Everybody,
a dog meme.
Don't give into it.
Hold.
Like, just hold. Like everybody
the
stand your
moon.
ground. So that's frustrating. But the good feel was the carnival at night, and I was afraid they weren't going to do it because we
That
saw
was
that
going to be all daytime
all
carnival,
daytime.
yeah.
And when carnival at night is just magical.
Oh, it is.
It is
Anything can
magical.
happen.
That's true.
It's
I didn't feel that
wonderful.
here because I never felt as though we were in the Outer Banks of North Carolina,
The
and
OBX?
that bothered me.
Yeah, you want
And
to be
if this
there.
had been a carnival and I knew we were in Canada, maybe it would have helped. But
Sure.
like, I never got to really get to the carnival
Yeah.
feels because of that.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I was glad they attempted.
To
it.
that point, my feels is carnival food, and it is a wonderful segue to talk about today's Philo Deep Dive, where I deep dive a show all about carnival food.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is a good
That's a
segment.
good one.
And you can check that out right here on the Philo, on today's Philo Deep Dive. I also, this movie made me want to listen to Philip Phillips, and that's always
That's because they just ripped straight off of him.
and that's always a good day. Dan?
This movie made me want to like seize every moment, live every day like it's my last, and make better choices in life, whether that be personally or professionally.
Hey, did you ever watch?
It
Love?
ushered me into a midlife crisis.
Wow.
Well, hey, did you ever
Yeah.
watch Love Monkey? I know
No,
you didn't. You didn't?
no, I don't even know what that
Oh,
is.
This made me.
Dude, what
long.
you do in your spare time?
Yeah.
Love Monkey was a great show
Too
about an
easy, it's
A&R
too
rep. Tom Cavanaugh starred in it.
Oh, wow.
I feel like you'd love it. It's one of those things like Alonzo says, was it great or was I 8? It was like, was I great or was I 18?
You were great,
Yeah.
18
no matter
trying
what.
to be a musician.
Was
like,
I great or was
I
it
great?
8?
You
It's,
were a great
this guy
8-year-old.
right here.
So I thought you would have seen it, but this reminded me of
sorry.
Love Monkey. Anyway.
Let's take one more quick break. We'll come back with the Wait, What, and the What the Hallmark here on
Deck
the
the
Hallmark. Well, hello. It's great to be back here on Deck the Hallmark. It is time for the Wait What.
What?
The Wait What. It is
There
where
it
we
is.
talk
Yay.
about exactly what in this movie made us go, wait, what?
What?
And I'm going to start with Brian. Brian, what you waiting and what you waiting?
So the band was called the Figure Eights, and
Yeah.
they shortened it to F8.
F8.
And I thought for sure somebody was going to then shorten it to Fate, and nobody did.
Nobody did it the whole movie.
You could
Not once.
it was just sitting there.
Just sitting there the whole time.
There was a Fate line there, and it just wasn't used, and it just bugged
The
me.
Fast and Furious got there first, and you don't want to,
Okay. Sure,
wanna
you don't
copy
want
that.
to step on the toes.
That's right.
Usually, this is something I started looking up while watching this. Usually, when a band's playing a festival, there's what's called a radius clause where you can't play shows in the same town where you're
Right.
playing the festival, and it just seemed like that didn't matter at all. Like
This
all
is the
artists-
hometown band, though.
but
So maybe that was like,
they said a lot of the bands are doing shows.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I
Then
was
why
just
would
like-
you even go to the festival if you
That's
just
the
want
whole
to hear
thing.
two bands? Yeah.
Exactly. So they all do shows. They play. Why? Yeah, exactly. So the radius clause is just totally null and void, I guess. And she's not. Was she not managing any other bands? Like, is she not do anything else?
I
She
think
was just-
trying to get a promotion to get to
She had
manage
just
bands.
recently
Yeah.
gotten a promotion.
Yeah.
So she hasn't.
Okay,
She
so
didn't
she's
have
the
any
assistant.
bands
All right.
on her list.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was okay. Gotcha. So this is a brand new.
This was
thing.
going to be her
All right,
her
so
first
that
band
answers-
that she was
that's-
bringing in.
That clears it up a lot because I'm just
Yeah.
like, you got to be. You should be talking to every band at
Yeah.
this festival. She barely took a bite of that chili dog.
Oh
Like,
no, let's not even.
Sucking on chili dog.
That's
Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on chili dog. Sucking on chili dog.
So that was offensive. And just like the lack of respect for the logistical phenomenon that is a music festival.
Yeah.
Like just moving a band on a whim because you bought.
It seemed like the smallest festival. Like if you can move from B to A and think that that's a good thing that late in the game.
Yeah, we got an opening.
Let-
Like you're not going to have
No.
it.
To that point,
They
like
sound tested on
they,
B.
it's okay.
Exactly, yeah.
So they have a B stage, a smaller stage
Yeah.
that is like diagonal
Catty
to
corner.
A stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
So everybody who's at A stage can just turn and see B stage, which is fine, except B stage is barely a stage. It's like kind of elevated. That's it.
Yep.
So like you're used to looking up at A and then you're like looking down at B.
Yeah.
That's a mess. I've never heard of a festival that brings in every band early to sound check
No.
before the festival even
Exactly,
starts.
yeah.
All right, bring on all of your stuff. We'll sound check it. We'll lock it in.
Yep. Got all
Which
the
is like
bands.
that's something that you do when you're playing an indoor venue. Is lots of times the headlining band will sound check early so that they can lock in their sound. That way, once it's time for headliner, they can just come out and not do
come
the
out and
whole
do their
sound check
thing.
thing. This is an interesting festival where they just do apparently everybody
Everybody
B
sound
stage
checks. Yeah.
doesn't matter.
You load your
Doesn't
equipment on,
matter.
you sound check.
But
you
how
load
mad
your-
is the B stage guy who sound checked them?
That's right. He checked it.
Checked
checked
them.
them.
You're-
Yeah.
My son?
Just so that stuff. It was just a
He
little.
sound checked it.
Sound checked them.
Good gosh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that was that's good for me.
There is a group here called the Mary Anns,
Yeah.
and I believe the Mary Anns play on the B stage at some point, or it's another acoustic group, but it does, you wouldn't know it by the crowd because the crowd is jamming like they're at an EDM festival. It's like acoustic music. The two main characters are having a whisper conversation where they can still hear each other, but they're just kind of like, hey, so what do you think's next for you? But the crowd is just like, let's go. I love acoustic guitar. Let's go. I love that for them. Speaking of guitars, and this is just another thing that's just like, why do it? Yeah. Why they do this is in an effort to make it seem as real as possible that they are musicians playing their instruments. Yeah. They realized that Will's guitar doesn't have an output. Yeah. So what they decided to do for Will is to mic his guitar in front of him, which is fine for like smaller venues or like singer-songwriter, I'm sitting on a stool not
outside
moving.
At a festival.
Outside of a festival, it's tough, especially when Will's jumping all around.
Moving around.
And it's an acoustic-driven song. Yeah. Like, you need that sucker to be there and not have any concerns about him going in and out by the jumping and the backing up. So in an effort to make it be like, hey, I don't have an output. We got to throw a mic on there. It made it more confusing for me than if they just didn't have an output at all. Because then I'm like, oh, that mic's not doing jack squat when he's jumping around. Last but not least, the house, so they sell the inn and then they keep the cottage. The cottage has these big red bows. We thought maybe it was decorated for a Christmas movie or something. Two big bows. There's a nice tree in the middle. Were they filming for a Christmas movie at the same time at the OBX? I don't know. Dano?
Yeah, you know what's crazy about the Outer Banks in this movie is there's remarkably little to no breeze, but there are mountains, which very indicative of the Outer Banks. The two ways you know you're at the Outer Banks is no breeze, mountains in the distance, mountains. That was absurd.
What's a shame is that there's been a very popular Netflix show called Outer Banks.
That's right.
That actually filmed out the Outer Banks and like basically gives you a tour of the Outer Banks.
Gives you a 101 of maybe how to not fall straight on your face filming a movie that you want to set in the Outer Banks.
Before, people might have been like, maybe, because there are mountains in North Carolina, so maybe. But now it's no, there's no. But that's not word.
You know how you could hide that is if everyone calls it the OBX.
That's all you got to do.
Oh my gosh, the OBX. Don't call it that. This woman is supposedly from the Outer Banks, and she comes back to take a run on the beach, and she decides she's going to try to run through the thick, dry sand,
like the dunes.
It's hard to walk on. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen anybody run on the beach, but you run in that wet, compacted
sand. You
want
to get your heart rate up. You go for the dry sand.
What is she doing? Is she training for some weird, race that I don't know about? Yeah. Where you try to sprain an ankle? She's like, oh, running on the beach is hard. Yeah, it's hard if you're a doofus. If you're not bright enough to run in the right place, then I bet it's hard. This is ridiculous.
Apparently, the Outer Banks was filmed in Charleston, so nothing matters.
Yeah, but I mean, still, they filmed it in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
Closer.
I mean, come on.
It is closer.
I do have some questions about this carnival. You mentioned one briefly. What happened to that cotton candy? That cotton candy is in an ASPCA commercial. Sarah McLachlan is singing for 10 cents a day. You can fix whatever the heck happened to this cotton candy. It looks like it has seen some things, man. Put that cotton candy out of its misery. That's not cotton candy. I don't know what it is, but it's not cotton candy.
Go through a rainstorm?
I don't know. It looks like my kid just took chomps out of it one a day for a week. But that's not as bad as this offense. Listen, you need to keep your Canada out of my movies. This carnival is charging a price for popcorn, and then if you want to add butter to your popcorn, it costs $1.
I didn't catch that.
They're charging
that's some communist BS.
We're not here for that. No. You charge me extra to put butter on the popcorn?
Man. Right.
Nothing makes Dan go full American first and charging for butter.
Strike up the chord, American girl.
Any concession.
You can listen, $1 for butter on your popcorn? Just die in a hole. I don't. We're not. We're not.
You want a stick for that cotton candy? That'll
That's
be
it.
55 cents.
What am I doing? No, I'll have the popcorn, no butter, please. Why? Are you kidding
Just
me?
flip that trailer over.
I
We would have rioted. We would have pushed it over, lit it on fire,
Yeah,
like we won the Stanley
Absolutely not. Charge me $20 for a movie ticket, whatever. You tell me I got to pay $1 for butter on my popcorn, we're going to fight.
Yeah.
There is no way that's happening. That was terrible. Absolutely not under any circumstances. I did write down, I've already covered it. No one here's ever seen the Outer Banks. I do want to be clear about that. They try to come up, this couple tries to come up with the pros and cons for selling the inn.
Oh, yeah.
And the pros are all like very big dream. Like, we've got these dreams. We could go on summer vacation. We could start a small business. And they're like, what about the cons? They're like, well, the paddle boards are really heavy in the mornings. What are we doing? Like, just sell the place. If the first con you could think of is as well, hauling those paddle boards out is heavy. Well,
Like, I'm sick of getting eggshell in
you
the
also
omelet
could
every
just
morning.
not haul the paddle boards out in the morning and hire somebody to do it or not do the morning yoga. I
Charge
mean, you could do
$1
that.
for it.
Charge $1 for the butter on the popcorn. You could do that.
Yeah, good question. Ernie wants to know what they charge for salt.
Yeah.
What,
listen,
where does it end?
It's a slippery slope.
Where does it end?
1 minute we're getting charged for butter on our popcorn.
You want a bun with that hot dog?
Yeah. Next minute, you never know. Never know what could happen. Losing our right to vote.
It's already decided for us. Doesn't
right.
matter.
Exactly right.
Nothing matters. It's just all.
That's
In
all I
the
got.
words of Brian, what's even the point?
What's even the point?
This is let's get to the what the Hallmark. It is where we talk about what we are still wondering. Anything that was keeping us up all night.
Yeah.
Questions that we have after watching this movie, Brian.
They talk about money so much. It's such a big part
Yeah.
of this movie. And not once do we get a figure. Ever.
Never.
Like, what ballpark? Like, you don't
Just
need
give
to
me something.
anything.
Like the record deal, the sale of the inn.
How much is this property
sale of the
worth?
inn without the cottage.
Holy cow.
How much do they owe to keep the dock?
Drives
all
me
of it.
nuts. The only thing we got was there was a shot of the money they raised, which
Yeah.
obviously I got a screenshot of that. It added up from what I saw to about $16,000 that they raised from people who played.
Which what we're told is the difference between
Yes.
what they could get as a loan
Yeah.
versus what the other people were buying
exactly.
it for.
Which to me it just
It's
doesn't
not
seem
much
like no. So
at all.
just like give us something, anything, any
Yeah.
figure here, because it just feels like the whole time I'm just wondering like what numbers
It
are we
seemed
talking
like
about?
whoever wrote the script was like, we'll fill in the details later, and then they just
Yeah.
Hallmark bought it and just
that was
never
the
did
last
it.
time
Yeah.
they saw that.
We don't need the details.
Of course.
What details?
Keep
So,
those out.
Keep your
Okay.
details out of my movie.
So the woman who runs the record label,
Yeah, Lydia.
she has an ex-husband,
RJ.
RJ, who's running another record label.
right.
Sure does.
At the end of this movie, those two lovebirds are at the OPX watching F8 perform, and they start having a little chummy fun time with each other. And then they run off to watch the Mariannes, and are like, it seems like, what's going on there? Are those?
guys? I don't
I
know.
think maybe those two still love each other. Maybe they can
Companies
work.
merging?
Maybe the nothing causes two people to put aside their differences than the Mariannes.
Yeah.
They're wonderful, and they deserve all the success. Dan?
What about the F8's music is not
Pop?
mainstream?
Exactly.
Their sound, she's like, here's a list of bands that we want to, because we want to make your sound more mainstream. Their song couldn't be more generically mainstream if it tried to be. I listened to it, I was like, this sounds like it was just put in some sort of generator to create a mainstream pop song. I just don't know what it is. I would love to know the list of those bands, because this is as mainstream as it.
Philip.
Yeah.
Philip
Exactly.
Phillips over and over
Over
again.
and over. So
You got to
many
be
Phillips
more
on
like
that.
Philip Phillips.
yeah.
You're not
Could we-
Philip
yeah,
Phillips enough.
Yeah, if we
Change
could
your
get Philip
name.
Phillips in here to sing for you, that would be great. That's all I got.
It's not like they had it's not like they were like Sushan Stevens or something. It's just
No.
doing weird stuff.
It's so straightforward.
Very
Pop.
like 4 on the floor. Let's get this thing over
That's
with.
right. 4 on the
That's
floor.
4 on the floor.
In the pocket.
In the pocket. We did it, everybody. Congratulations. It's time for Double Deck of the Week. Panda's peeking around the corner being a little bit weird.
there he
But
is.
we'll invite him in. Let's play that theme song.
Just,
Oh!
Double double decker of the week.
Whoa!
Oh, my goodness.
Hi,
Another day,
everybody.
another dollar, am I right?
Oh,
You're
my
exactly
gosh.
right.
Gosh, July's really coming to a close.
Could be. Let's do this, shall we? Let's dive into one of the double deckers of the week.
I love that
Panda's
idea.
here. He's
Yeah.
done the hard work. He's gone on Google Plus Platinum Gold and has seen all the things that you could see, including today's double decker. And you
You
did
go
the
to
deep dive.
BrambleGymPlus.com, sign up double decker tier or higher.
That's all you
can
gotta
have
do.
Panda
That's all you gotta
do a
do.
deep dive for you as
Yep.
well. We've got Amy Julesgard.
Amy Julesgard.
We met her
Wow.
at Rama Drama.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, Salt
Around
of the
this
Earth.
time. Salt of the Earth. That's right. Tell me about Amy.
Yeah. So Amy, traffic's a real problem. It's a real sucker out there.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you now doing like a type 5?
Have you heard about this traffic?
You guys heard about this traffic though? Go ahead.
And Amy was in traffic one day, and she said to herself, I wish I had some fresh tunes to listen to.
Like some, yeah. I think brands like that.
Yeah,
He's always looking for fresh
I'm
tunes.
always looking for new songs.
And she said, Apple Music's not really cutting it for me. I wish I had something a little bit more raw, a little bit more personal, a little bit more live. And so she came up with this great idea.
Okay.
And it's, do I want to say it's sweeping the world? Not yet, but it could be.
With a Z?
And it's called Traffic Jam.
Okay.
I like that.
I love this
like
so
that.
far.
So
Tell me how
what
it works,
happens?
Yeah. You're stuck in traffic.
Okay.
Great.
I'm
You
with
have to be?
It helps.
Okay.
Because
But if I'm at home and I'm just kind of bored?
Doesn't work in there.
Doesn't work there. Okay,
You
interesting.
got to be real
Traffic
stuck
is
in
part of
traffic.
it,
And
yeah.
so
Real stuck.
These guys, you call them up, this dispatch, right? And they dispatch a band to your traffic jam area.
This seems like so much more work than I thought it was going to be.
I don't have anxiety about anything, Panda. I just got a ton of anxiety. Dude, that's got to be a traffic jam for the ages. To get a band out there, get them set up, sound check, and rolling. And then aren't they going to clog up traffic more?
Well,
But people don't mind.
They don't
No,
mind because
not
they're going to
because
order
there's
their
live
own.
music.
Does one band cover the whole
they'll
traffic
cover
jam?
they'll cover. Everyone kind of pitches in a
Does
little
everybody?
bit.
Everybody's
I
like,
think
do
you
you
got
want
pitch
in
in
on
a
a
little
traffic
bit.
jam?
Yeah.
So what happens as traffic's moving? Do they like play along with?
Oh
it
yeah.
and walk?
It's a moving platform.
They
like a
set up
parade.
a moving platform.
It's like a parade.
Oh yeah,
Man.
and they lead you out. Now, once you start
They
going
l-
60 or 70,
They
it
le-
gets real.
Did you just say they leach out?
No,
You did.
You said they leach out.
I don't think they leach out.
Yeah, they don't suck anybody's
reach-
blood.
They would. That was the name of one of the bands.
Yeah.
It's Leach Out. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why I got
Leach out.
confused.
That's right. It's a vampire weekend.
I thought, I'll be honest.
That's unfortunate. That's real disappointing.
I'll be honest.
You show up at that traffic jam, you're like, oh crap.
Oh, we
You
got
made it
leach
work.
out? No. I want my money back.
I'm going to complain about being Harvard educated.
Burner, 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 burner,
Hey,
burner,
hey, hey.
burner, 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 burner,
I'm
burner,
smart.
burner, burner, burner,
That's
burner,
bad.
burner, 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 burner,
Wish
burner,
you
burner,
had a
burner,
dad.
burner. We're artistic.
Yeah. You said it.
That's good.
Wish you had a dad.
Wow.
Dark.
What can you do?
Man.
You know what? This is better than I thought. I thought it was going to be you go onto an app and you put in some info and they play you a song. This is way more
sounds like the
elaborate.
worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. Good luck with your best.
Yeah.
Back to you guys. Thanks, Fran.
boy. Unbelievable.
Great
That's good stuff.
great. That was a good one. Well, we will be back tomorrow with this is fun. Deck the Lights from
this is
Uncorked
fun.
from Bramblefest, a very fun episode.
yeah, that's
I
a
think
fun
you all are
time.
going to like that one.
love it.
A whole lot. One Calls to Heart on Thursday, and then Fast Fridays.
People love it or they hate it.
On Friday.
Weekend, they love it or hate it.
Until then, maybe we're the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.